In a significant shift in the prolonged war in Ukraine, the Wagner Group, a Russian private military contractor, has revealed plans to withdraw its forces from Bakhmut, a city in eastern Ukraine. The group's head, Yevgeny Prigozhin, a known associate of Russian President Vladimir Putin, stated in a video message that the transfer of control to the Russian military is to be completed by June 1. This announcement comes amidst ongoing heavy fighting and marks a potential pivot in the dynamics of the conflict that has seen extensive casualties on both sides. Prigozhin's Bakhmut declaration has ostensibly delivered a necessary win for Putin's offensive in Ukraine, which began in February 2022 and has since seen a worrying loss of momentum. In Bakhmut, the private military contractor has been at the forefront, enduring significant losses, with Prigozhin himself acknowledging that over 20,000 men were lost in the battle. Despite the severe Russian losses, the Wagner Group's achievements in the city have bolstered Prigozhin's standing, providing him with a platform to air his grievances and personal views regarding the conduct of the war. Meanwhile, the Ukrainian leadership has signaled that a counteroffensive is already in motion. Top Ukrainian presidential advisor Mikhailo Podolyak clarified that this should not be viewed as a singular event, but rather a series of actions aimed at dismantling the Russian occupying forces. With this counteroffensive, Ukraine is indicating an escalating resistance, backed by the advanced weaponry supplied by their Western allies. Ukraine's Deputy Defense Minister, Hanna Maliar, disputed Wagner's claims of fully controlling Bakhmut, stating that Ukrainian forces still retain control over parts of the city. Analysts have suggested that the city of Bakhmut holds minimal strategic value for Moscow. However, its symbolic significance cannot be underestimated. The city has been the site of some of the longest and most brutal battles in the war in Ukraine. Thus, the outcome of the ongoing conflict in Bakhmut is likely to have wider implications for both sides, potentially defining the future trajectory of the war. Amidst the swirling chaos of the war in Ukraine, the Russian front appears to be increasingly fragmented, and its unity of command under question. The Wagner Group's withdrawal from Bakhmut suggests a recalibration of Moscow's military strategy, but the event also highlights the frictions within the Russian military hierarchy. Yevgeny Prigozhin, in particular, has been vocal in his criticism of the Russian defense minister, Sergei Shoigu, blaming inadequate ammunition supply for the steep losses incurred by his forces in Bakhmut. In a rare candid interaction with pro-Russian blogger Konstantin Dolgov, Prigozhin expressed doubts about the preparedness of the regular Russian army, which he alleges is ill-equipped to resist Ukrainian forces. While Moscow's public narrative has often attempted to downplay Ukraine's military capabilities, Prigozhin's stark acknowledgement of the formidable strength of the Ukrainian army paints a different picture of the war in Ukraine. As the Wagner Group contemplates its future role after withdrawing from Bakhmut, the specter of a potential revolution looms over Moscow. Prigozhin warned of an imminent upheaval, akin to that of 1917, if the Russian losses continue to mount in Ukraine. He conveyed concerns about the growing dissatisfaction among Russian soldiers and their families over the mounting casualty figures. The military stalemate in Bakhmut and the slow progress in eastern Ukraine have added to these frustrations, fueling anti-war sentiment among Russian citizens and troops alike. Against this backdrop, a new front appears to be opening up. Anti-Putin militias, presumably aligned with Ukraine, have launched cross-border raids into Russian territory, notably in the Belgorod region. This incursion has sparked confusion among Russia's influential military analysts, prompting further criticisms of the Russian Defense Forces' readiness. As a result, Moscow finds itself under siege, not only from the Ukrainian counteroffensive but also from the brewing discontent within its own ranks. As the war in Ukraine grinds on, internal tensions within the Russian military hierarchy are coming to the fore. The Wagner Group's decision to pull out of Bakhmut, replacing its forces with regular Russian army units, signifies not only a change in tactics but also raises questions about Russia's overall strategic coherence. Yevgeny Prigozhin has increasingly become a vocal critic of Russia's traditional military apparatus, accusing them of hampering Wagner's operations due to a lack of adequate ammunition. His criticism doesn't stop there, however. In a recent interview with a pro-Russian blogger, Prigozhin extended his ire to Moscow's perceived lack of preparedness. He painted a sobering picture of the Russian Defense Forces' capabilities, arguing that they were absolutely not ready to resist the Ukrainian forces. In the face of these allegations, Putin's military hierarchy is showing signs of division and discord, undermining the Russian war effort. The war in Ukraine, though primarily fought on Ukrainian soil, has begun to spill over into Russian territory, introducing a new and unpredictable dynamic to the conflict. The Belgorod region, for instance, has become a theater for incursions by militias aligned with Ukraine. The initial response has been marked by confusion and anger among Russia's military analysts, further exposing the chinks in Russia's defensive capabilities. In this complex landscape of shifting alliances and strategies, the Ukrainian counteroffensive remains a constant threat. Ukraine's military has shown resilience and determination, which, combined with the issues plaguing the Russian forces, poses significant challenges to the Kremlin's ambitions. The war in Ukraine is far from over, with many anticipating a drawn-out and costly conflict. We've tried to capture the evolving dynamics of this conflict, but we're interested in your thoughts. How do you see this conflict evolving? What do you think the implications are for the region and the world at large? Please share your insights in the comments below.
Thank you for watching this episode of Warzone. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.